we're going to talk about the release of Mahmoud Khalil, courtesy of Dropsite News, as well as other reporting has established this as well. The original tweet from Megnad Bose: breaking District Court hearing Mahmoud Khalil's case, orders his release from ICE detention center in Louisiana at Dropsite News, to which Dropsite News quote tweeted: breaking, court orders Mahmoud Khalil released from ICE detention. They did have a follow-up tweet for this. Let me just find it. Mahmoud Khalil to be released today. There are some more updates on this situation as well. The court order to release Mahmoud Khalil comes after the Palestinian activist and recent graduate of Columbia University has spent 105 days in federal immigration detention and missed the birth of his first child. Now that Mahmoud Khalil is set to be released, worth remembering that the, quote, potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences clause on which he was arrested for, according to the U.S. government's own court filings, previously only been used to try and deport foreigners convicted of or implicated in crimes such as terrorism and gross human rights abuses. The government found only 5 instances in the last 35 years in which the clause had been used prior to Khalil's arrest. Remember, Mahmoud Khalil was arrested for literally just existing. Khalil caught the eye of Marco Rubio and the State Department by being the liaison between the pro-Palestinian protesters at Columbia University and with the Columbia University administration. He was arrested for the crime of criticizing Israel. At no point were the protests ever violent. In fact, Columbia University had they had no evidence on Mahmoud Khalil operating in bad faith. And you would think that having been in constant communication with him, if something came up, they would have it. This was Donald Trump attempting to silence the Palestinian liberation crowd. Beyond that, it was their first notable attempt at the restriction of free speech and the erosion of civil rights. Mahmoud Khalil was a naturalized U.S. citizen, and they were attempting to deport him over this. They were attempting to deport him over his constitutionally given right. The thread continues. Update: Magistrate Judge of New Jersey says a telephone conference will be held at 3:30 p.m. to adjust the release terms, including the manner and logistics by which Mahmoud Khalil will, quote, surrender his passport and any other travel documents to the government as a precondition of release. Dr. Noor Abdallah, Mahmoud Khalil's wife, reacts to the court ordering Khalil's release, quote, after more than 3 months, we can finally breathe a sigh of relief and know that Mahmoud is on his way home to see me and Dean, who should never have been separated from his father. She adds, we know this ruling does not begin to address the injustices the Trump administration has brought upon our family and so many others the government is trying to silence for speaking out against Israel's ongoing genocide against Palestinians. But today, we are celebrating Mahmoud coming back to New York to be reunited with our little family and the community that has supported us since day one, since the day he was unjustly taken for speaking out against Palestinian freedom. He was sent to Louisiana because Donald Trump and the State Department thought that they would get a fucking layup, that these judges would just suck on him and do whatever the fuck the Trump administration said. The Louisiana, that district court, I think it's the 9th district, is the most conservative court district in the United States. This includes Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. I believe Florida is in there as well. They seemingly always side with the conservative, with the conservatives when presented with the case. That alone is worth mentioning because Mahmoud Khalil should never have been sent anywhere other than New York or New Jersey. As a resident of New Jersey and as a former resident of New York and a former Columbia University attendee, the Trump administration went judge shopping in an attempt to find someone who would do their bidding, and they failed. This is a tremendous victory. This is a tremendous W for free speech and for civil rights. Mahmoud Khalil, Mohsen Madawi, both of these guys being released signals that the system is still there is still a bit of good in the system. And there are people who, regardless of what their political affiliation is, who do have a little bit of a spine. But do not get it twisted. They should never have been in these respective positions anyway. Mahmoud Khalil should never have been kidnapped and sent to Louisiana for advocating for Palestinian liberation. It is grossly unjust. It is fucking disgusting. It is a stain on the Trump administration for having attempted something like this, but he is free. He is free. I am incredibly happy for him. I am incredibly happy for his family. I am now interested to see what happens beyond this because I do think the aftermath is going to be interesting. I don't know if maybe, he tried to sue the Trump administration, but it is going to be very interesting. It is also going to be interesting to see if they continue to do things like this, knowing that the courts already have the precedent of, like, this sets a precedent. This sets a tremendous precedent for every other comparable case across the country, wherever it may be.